This is Coming Up Roses with Kevin.
And I am Kelly, and this is your Saturday, January 29th, episode 47 edition of Coming Up Roses, the Tilly episode.
The Tilly episode. Today, we're going to talk about Tilly. But before we get to that, we do have to let you guys know what's going on this week, or what happened this past week.
Update alert.
Update alert.
We have gotten the parents home from Georgia.
Yeah.
The handoff was successful, although it didn't come without a little bit of
angst. So the snow was a problem. It's still out there. There's a ton of it. The roads were somewhat clear, but not great, particularly in the neighborhood. So the idea was, let's get up there the night before, as far as like the halfway point from here to the halfway point there, which is basically South Hill, and in Virginia, where 85 meets 58. So
yes.
We left here about 2:45 or 3-ish.
Yeah, on Saturday. Drove to South Hill.
Yeah.
And stayed overnight on the most uncomfortable bed ever.
Yeah. So what we learned is we need a wedge for when we travel.
I have reflux, and so I sleep inclined. That was a problem.
Yeah.
I just didn't sleep well, and the pillows were crappy. So I guess from now on we just carry all our own pillows and wedges and.
Well, it's good that we learned this now, because we're going to be the big trip in June, where we hang out with the...
Sure, I can't wait to show up there with all of my devices I need in order to get a good night's sleep.
Well, it'll be all right. Well, we're tourists, so it'll be fine.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
But we did get Mom and Dad home. They got unpacked. Learning how to use the remote and the washing machine all over again.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah.
I know they're glad to be home. And it's good that we didn't put it off, because now we're expecting almost the exact same snowstorm that we had last week happening this week.
It's odd. First of all, we maybe get snow once a year, and if we do, it's only a couple inches. Every now and again, we'll get a deep snow, but it's not a common thing at all. For us to have 2 snows in 1 year is rare, very rare, and for them to have a deep snow twice in 1 year is almost probably unheard of. I've never heard of it.
Consider for Virginia Beach, 4 inches to 6 inches is a deep snow.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about feet of snow. But we got 6 inches around there, 6-7 inches.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday night into Saturday. I guess it had stopped snowing around noon.
Yeah.
And we were closed. School was closed on Monday because the roads just hadn't had a chance to dry enough. And so at night, they were over freezing again. And then all the slushy stuff, just freezes up. So we've really just gotten that cleared off the roads, and now we're going to get it again.
Yeah.
So.
And it's been super cold, like in the high 20s or low 30s, high 20s. It's crazy.
I'm trying to follow the weather. If you followed our show for any amount of time, or you know us, I teach kindergarten. And as a school teacher, I am as excited for snow day as I was when I was a kid. So I've been following all these very complicated snow predictions. And I've decided what they need to do is just knock all that off and give us the chance of school closing on Monday. That's all I need to know. Do we have a 10% chance that school will close? Is there a 70% chance school will close? That is more what I need to know. Yeah. Personally. And I know I'm speaking from my own, Other people have a lot of things going on. It's good for parents
to know too, and everything too.
Yeah. So we have been instructed to send devices home on Friday in the event that school is closed on Monday. And then the kids don't go to school on Tuesday because it's a teacher work day. So next week's looking great for me. Like, I'll be getting a lot of stuff done. Not a lot of teaching done, but a lot of grading and planning done.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything else from last week?
The snow, the parents got home. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
That's it. We're not the most exciting people. That's why we're doing the Tilly episode this week.
Yeah, Kevin's been wanting to do a Tilly episode for a while.
Yeah, even with the Friday night chats, we were talking about it.
I feel like we talk about Tilly a lot. Anyway, and she makes herself known on some of our podcasts.
Yeah.
But we are going to dedicate our whole, at least the first half of our podcast tonight, to Tilly.
To Tilly.
So we'll start with why we decided on a Chihuahua. Because a little bit of backstory about me and my family history with dogs. We've always had big, dumb dogs. Mm-hmm. And they haven't always been dumb, but like boxers. My family has pretty much always had boxers. Clowns of the dog world. A ton of fun. Can be very destructive. Are very rambunctious. But sweet. Sweet dogs. And then we had Chloe, who was my sister's dog. She was a yellow lab. Not the brightest dog, but the sweetest dog you ever met.
She was very sweet, but Chloe was I'm sorry, but she was a little on the dumb side. she would, if there was like a gate up that was, blocking one way, she won't go through the gate or anything, even though she could bowl through it. There was nothing that really could have stopped her if she wanted to.
She was like a 90-pound dog.
But she wouldn't do it, but on the other side of it, like my sister-in-law had an island. One end had the gate on it, the other one didn't. She could have went around the other way, but she was, oh no, I'm locked behind this gate.
A little bit later, though, we'll bring up some Tilly flaws because there's a list.
Yeah.
But Kevin always had littler dogs.
Yeah, I've always had Chihuahuas. I had particularly the longest running dog we had when I was a kid was Tiny. We had Buster and Tiny, and Buster passed, but then we had Tiny for a very long time. She was really my dad's dog because he would she would love riding in the truck, and she hung out with him whenever possible. She was a great dog, and I've always had like Chihuahuas always around. My aunt Kathleen and Uncle Donald had Chihuahuas. They had the one that they had for the longest time was Flash, and he was a trip. But basically smaller dogs is all that we basically had. We had some bigger dogs, but for the most part it was all small dogs. And
then your nephew got
a full-blown Chihuahua.
And we went up to visit. And Chase was at Tommy and Darlene's house. And I literally fell in love with this little dog. The sweetest, cuddliest little Chihuahua ever.
He was real little. Like, he's still little.
Tiny. Like 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It's just so soft. And he would get right up in your neck. And he would cuddle with you. And, oh my gosh, he was just the cutest thing. And we had lost Libby a couple of years, a year or so before.
Year and a half.
This Libby was our last boxer, and we were like, we're not having another dog. It's just the losing part is so hard. And I started really missing having a dog. And I'm not alone. I mean, my dad is famous for saying he wants no more dogs, but then no one loves the dogs more than he does once they are here. So we started looking for a smaller dog because honestly we don't have the energy for the rambunctious big boxer dogs anymore. And I thought it would be easier to manage a smaller dog. And so we started looking for a small Chihuahua dog. And I was looking at all the rescue, like the local rescues. And just kind of checking their websites and everything. And one day, this litter of Chihuahua mix puppies popped up at a local rescue. And must have been...
it was close to Christmas time.
It was close to Christmas time. So, the whole litter was named after the the 7 dwarfs. There were 7 dogs. Tilly, who we ended up choosing, and we'll talk more about how we came to take Tilly. Her original name was Dopey. Also, along with this litter of Tillies, the rescue the woman who was fostering that litter was also fostering another litter, and they were named after the 8 reindeer. And they were cute too. So my mom and my brother and I went to this woman's house.
I had to work.
In Norfolk. And she had 3 or 4 big dogs. She had a few littler dogs. And then she had like cages set up with these 2 litters of puppies. There were a lot of dogs in this woman's house. And she came to the door, and her husband was also there, and he was not fully dressed. He, I guess, only had pants on. He wasn't wearing a shirt. He wasn't the nicest person, because I can remember him yelling at her while we were like visiting with the dogs and stuff. So we were a little bit sketched out about where we were at, and this woman who was probably perfectly fine, but life was wearing hard on her, and she showed it. And so my brother nicknamed her Meth Tooth, because she may have only had 1 tooth on the, I don't know.
I didn't see her, so I don't know.
Anyway, you know how people
but he
who
said it
use
was a meth house, and
yeah. That probably is not true. I doubt that the rescue would have left all those dogs with her if that had been true. But anyway, that became the family nickname for this woman, was Meth Tooth. So anyway, we were looking at all these puppies, and I picked up Tilly, and Dopey at the time, and she just cuddled right up against me, and she was so chill. And I was like, this dog is giving me serious Libby vibes, who was our boxer before. She was just so calm and so relaxed, and just like, oh, I'm just gonna give you kisses. And I was like, this is the dog, this is the one. So we told them we wanted her, and the rescue had to come out and like make sure that our backyard was safe for the little dog and all that kind of
stuff,
to which worked out fine.
Chicken wire up along some of our fence line, and a couple of other things I had to block, because she was really little.
She was teeny.
Yeah. Like
in your hand, one hand, teeny tiny. So we renamed her. Obviously, we didn't keep Dopey, and it's a good thing we didn't, because she's not Dopey.
She is not
at all. But we call her Tilly. Her actual, she's Chantilly Rose, but we just always called her Tilly. And so the rescue lady brought her to us, and that was that. She immediately established her dominance in the house.
Yeah.
It didn't
she's
take
really
long.
The smartest dog. A lot of folks, you got a puppy, so you got to work yourself up to like do the potty training and all that. Nope, she was fine. She was literally a 7-week-old puppy when we got her, and she never missed the mat. And then when it was time, she felt comfortable going outside. She never used the mat again. She went right outside.
And it wasn't even a week, maybe a week. We just kept moving the puppy pad closer to the back door.
Mm-hmm.
And then she figured it out. Oh, I have to do this outside. And that was that. She's not ever once peed in the house. We have the bell hanging on the door that we always had there for the boxers. And it just always stayed on the door. Even when we didn't have dogs, I think we still had the bell on the door.
Yeah.
She's learned how to ring the bell with her paws, and she has to stretch up a lot higher to get to it than the boxers did. But, yeah, she just has been so easy. She did dig a little trench in the carpet in the hallway.
Yeah.
When she was really new, like the first month or so. But she never chewed on furniture. She got hidden in the furniture, remember?
Yeah,
remember the time Dad thought she got out one time because they couldn't find her anywhere?
They could not find the dog, and they thought, oh my God, she must have got outside. Because, sometimes we'll go out, we open up the garage door, don't close it right away, the kitchen door is open, it's conceivable she ran out, And the couple times that she has been out free in the world,
oh, she's enjoying it.
She runs around. She doesn't, she likes the chase. So I think that's kind of gotten out of her because the last time she got out free, as soon as I opened up the front door, she was like,
we didn't chase her because we didn't know she was out there.
Yeah.
It's no fun when no one's chasing you.
Yeah. Like somehow the gate was left open, and then she come trotting back in like, oh, I don't want to be out here.
Yeah, so Dad was driving around the neighborhood in his truck, like looking for Tilly, and she could have fallen down a drain. I mean, she was so little, but she was just like under the couch. Hiding out. She likes. We'll get to it. It's one of her particulars. So we've formed this little pack. You know, we say we're Tilly's pack.
She's very particular with everybody. She has
a different relationship with every person in the house.
Yeah.
And it's a noticeably different relationship with every person in the house. So I am obviously mommy.
Yeah. You're her person. There's no way around that. You are her person.
She is very protective of me.
Yeah.
So she's in my lap. If I'm home and I'm sitting in the couch or whatever, she's on my lap. And if anybody approaches that she feels any sort of threat, she's showing her teeth, she's, barking, whatever, no one's going to mess with mommy.
Yeah. There was one time we went to one of the dog parks, and we were there by ourselves for the longest time, but she would, play a little bit, but hung out around Kelly. And this big Great Dane come running in. Now, the Great Dane, I knew instantly that this Great Dane was not a danger.
Yeah, they're not.
It's a huge dog, but they're very friendly. And this one looked like the big, dopey, friendly Great Dane dog, but he started to kind of run to Kelly's way. This dog runs halfway between and makes sure in no uncertain terms that you go no further, because that's my mommy.
Yeah, she did. Like, she stood that dog off.
Yeah.
And then she would run to play with Kevin, and she'd get halfway between me and Kevin, and then she'd be like, nope, and she'd run back to me. Like, she just could not leave me. And it's really bad, like, when we have company.
Yeah.
Because we have to, if anybody approaches me to give me a hug, she just doesn't want any of that.
Yeah, she ain't having it.
And then she depends on me for that. Like, I think I'm that. She sleeps by my feet at night under the blankets. She refuses to sleep on Kevin's side or anywhere else. If we're not home, she'll sleep out in the living room by herself. But she's right, she's got to be touching me, reaches her paws out until her paw touches me, the whole nine. So I think I am just that, like, I'm just the person. And then Kevin, she is equally as attached to you. But if she has to choose between Kevin and I, if she's got the choice of both of us, she generally will come to me.
You're the mama. You are her person.
Unless she really wants the blanket and Kevin has the blanket. And then she'll go to Kevin.
Yeah.
If she really, really likes the blanket. But after a while, she has a way of letting us know she wants the blanket. So she'll come and jump up on our lap, and she'll just stand on the end of the chair. Like on the arm of the recliner, and she'll just look at Kevin. If she's on my lap, she'll just look at Kevin like, okay, you can bring the blanket over whenever you're ready. And we just know when she's standing like that, that's what she wants.
She talks to us. She really does. She knows. She has ways of letting us know what she wants.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we when we cuddle and I talk to her and I let her outside and I stand outside with her. And
she won't go out at night unless Kevin takes a step out off onto the deck.
Yeah.
You're her protector. You're her protector.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she goes to you when she needs things. Like, Kevin's the caretaker. So he's taking her to get her nails trimmed. He takes her to the vet. He's the one, making sure she's got the food and the water.
We tried to make sure that she was trained. We took her to a training place. And what was the name of the place? The
Zoom Room.
Zoom Room. Don't get me wrong. Zoom Room did their bit. But she is a vastly independent dog. And it was decided that I'd be the one to do the classes with her because they just figured I'd be the one to be most likely to be able to get down on the ground with her, which was true. And two, that I'd be a little bit more a
little firmer
with her than the rest of them. But that shit fell apart.
Can I tell my favorite story? We've probably told this story before. One of the things they were teaching when you go to Zoom Room, you're working with your dog in like a curtained off area, so your dog doesn't have any other distractions. But Kevin's area was the first one, and I was like in the waiting area with my mom and dad watching. And so we were seeing everything Kevin was doing. And one of the things they had to teach the dog to get down, like lay down. And all the other dogs were big. Tilly was tiny.
Tiny.
And so we got to talking, and I looked over, and Kevin was on his hands and knees on the floor, and Tilly was standing on his back. And I don't think I ever have laughed so hard, because all the other people were sitting and their dogs were laying down. The dog was laying down, and here's Tilly just standing on his back. He's almost laying down on the floor, and the three of us, my mom and dad, and I just died laughing.
Because I had to get down low, and I was like patting the floor to get her to lay down. That was the command you're supposed to give. And she just shot right up my arm and was on my back. And I couldn't do anything because if I move, she's going to fall off my back. She's little, so I'm like, if I move and she falls off, she's going to get hurt. So I'm like, Tilly, you got to get down. We're going to get in trouble. She didn't give a single shit.
Clearly the smallest dog and probably the biggest guy.
Yeah, definitely I was the biggest guy.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah, we couldn't get a picture of it, but she did get down. But thank God.
I am Tilly's comfort. Kevin. Tilly comes to me for comfort. Tilly goes to Kevin when she needs comfort. She tries to comfort me. Kevin is the one who gives her, what her things that she needs. Grandma is. She loves Grandma. She'll cuddle with Grandma during the day. She's protective over Grandma too. So she'll bark if people are approaching her, or even Dad. And Dad is the one that gets most of the barking. If he went over yesterday to just put something on the table next to Mom, and Tilly was laying on my lap, and she's like, don't you touch her, And for a while, when Mom and Dad were sitting next to each other, if they just held hands, Tilly was not having that.
Yeah, she'd bark at them. Get on the
She'd go over and she'd separate them. She'd separate them. Don't touch. You're not allowed to touch my grandma at all. So she's very protective of the women in the house.
To this day, she, like when we're ready to go to bed, we'll go, it's time to go night-night. She does a routine where she goes around, she smacks all the balls. She's got toy balls
toy
everywhere.
balls, that's what she plays with.
And then she tells Grandpa to, we're going to bed, and you best not mess with Grandma.
She will look right at him and bark at him until we walk past, and then she'll follow us. But it's like, I'm leaving, and don't you mess with Grandma while I'm gone, because I'll know about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, her relationship with my dad is contentious.
Well, some of that is
we figured this out. We figured it out this morning.
Yeah.
What was it you told me in the car?
Well, that in the beginning that he was I didn't want a dog, and she picked up on that.
I don't think that's it. I think you nailed it when you said, because the way she is with Michael too.
Oh,
she will growl at Michael. She doesn't like it when Michael approaches her or tries to pet her. She's not like that. But if Michael gets down on the floor, she's all over it. She'll play with him, love on him, whatever.
Because Michael's always been more roughhouse with her.
And I think because we've always had big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And we're used to the roughhousing and the teasing play. And I think my dad and my brother played with her in that teasing manner. They teased her with the broom, and they teased her with the cane, and they teased her with this and that. And that formed in her this, like, I have to be on guard because... they're gonna bust my chops here. And so Dad, he'll bark at her if she hears him get up and start coming down the hall, she'll start barking.
Which especially now, because and we'll talk about this a little later, but Dad walks with a cane for the most part, and that's one of the enemies. And that's a point of contention. She doesn't
bother with his cane too much.
Not as much as she used to.
The one she's gotten used to that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk. We have a whole list of Tilly enemies, and so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But every now and then, Tilly will go over and jump up on Grandpa's lap, and she does this thing because we all have reclining chairs. If your feet are up, she'll sit in between your legs with her back to you, and then she'll lean all the way back so she's completely reclined, and then she'll look up at you like she's getting in her recliner too. And so she will do that with Dad every now and then she just wants to go over there and be with Dad, especially
She
if
did
Dad
it when
has
he came
food.
home that night. When they came home, she did
It
that.
took a little bit of time, but eventually she just jumped down off my lap and went over to Dad's chair and jumped up and was like, okay, you're back. I'm glad to see you. You know, Michael is. Sometimes she's growling and fiercely snarling at him to leave her alone, and sometimes he's her best friend.
Yeah.
It just depends on her mood at the time, you know.
She's fickle.
She's fickle. So a smarter dog I don't think I've ever had.
Never a smarter dog.
She has learned that
She's learned how to barter.
she can barter. So she hunts the house for any little thing she can find on the floor that she shouldn't have.
First of all, I don't want you
For
to think that we
example.
keep an unclean house.
Well,
But
I mean, we're not cleaning the house every day either.
yeah,
But there's like these little bread ties, right?
never knew there was that many bread ties in the house.
We don't even know where she finds them.
God knows where she's getting them from. But sometimes she'll like find paper and she rips it up and she puts it in her stash where she thinks we can't
Right.
grab
If
it.
she finds a big full piece of paper, immediately she will start ripping it into little pieces and she hides them. And she will bring the paper to you one little piece at a time to get peanut butter or
Whatever's
a
for
bite
dinner.
of whatever you're eating for dinner or whatever. She won't bring all of it because she knows the more pieces I bring, the more food I'm going to get.
Yeah.
So I don't want to bring this whole piece of paper over and blow it all in one trip. She will literally stop and just try to rip it apart. And she has a couple of places we call her stash. So behind Dad's chair. When the Christmas tree was up, it was on the back side of the Christmas tree in the corner where we couldn't get to.
Yeah.
It was
She's
funny,
smart.
we took the Christmas tree down, there was like a whole pile of like shredded up little
She's
pieces of
smart,
paper.
super smart. And she would show it to you. Like she knows that she's not supposed to have this. So she'll have it in her mouth. You try to get it from her, she starts growling and getting all snarly. But she wants you to know that she's got it, and she puts it in the edge of her mouth.
Yeah, she'll just
so that
stick
you
it
can
out
get
so
the
you
paper.
can just see it.
You want the paper, you got to give me that peanut butter. So,
I call them her treasures.
yeah.
She reminds me of Ariel from The Little Mermaid, who just collected all the treasures. That's what Tilly does. She finds her little treasures and she collects them.
Yeah.
And then every now and then she'll want to trade a treasure for, something.
Mostly peanut butter.
Mostly peanut butter. That's her big thing.
Yeah. She's not really actually big on regular dog treats. She just likes some dog treats. She likes duck treats. Treats made from duck.
She doesn't like dog bones or rawhides or
No.
anything like that. She's not a big toy player. She toys apart, but she loves balls, like red balls. If we'll say, go get your red ball, she will hunt the house until she finds the right ball that's red, and then she'll punch it a few times and then walk away from it.
Yeah.
She's also very particular in her routine. And so if you break the routine, then she will have to reset the whole routine.
Yeah.
One of those is when we go to bed at night. There's a whole routine of saying goodnight to Grandma and Grandpa, the barking and all of that. But we'll get in bed. She'll jump up on the bed, whatever. But as soon as we turn off the TV or turn off the light, she's jumped back down and she wants out. Kevin will have to get up, take her out, come back in carrying her the second time, put her on the bed, and then she'll go under the blankets.
Yeah.
Every single night. Even if he's just taking her out, because he's like, well, I'm going to take her out before we go back. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
She will still jump down, and he has to go through the whole thing all over again. We even tried to fake her out. You didn't get under the covers one time, and she's just like snuggling up, and as soon as you got under the covers, she jumped down. I don't know what that's about. She also likes, in the mornings, she'll get up with Kevin, and then Kevin gets up out of his chair, and she's sitting in his chair. Covered with the blanket. We call it her nest. We got to put her in her nest. And she will stay there until other people get up or...
Like I'll get home, I'll drive Kelly to school and then come home, and then she'll, depending on how much time I have, we'll sit and cuddle for a little bit, but then she'll come in here while I'm working because my desk is right over there, and she sits where she is now. She's in her
She has a little dog bed. We call it her crib.
Yeah, she sits in her crib until Grandma and Grandpa get up, and then she goes hangs out with Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
that's
sometimes
her day.
she'll just come out and she'll just want to be in her crib. She likes this little dog bed. most of the time. On occasion, she'll try to hump it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen too much anymore.
We had another one that that's all she did with it was hump it. But this one, for whatever reason, she's
we had to get rid of it because it was disturbing.
So.
All right. So all of these little things, but Kevin has compiled a list of Tilly's enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Tilly's enemy list.
Right. Number 1 is the vacuum cleaner. Now, you bring out the vacuum cleaner, she's going to start barking at it. Turn it on, she will dive for it and bite it. It's crazy.
She attacks it, and it doesn't even have to be turned on.
Yeah.
She'll bark at it until it goes away back into its closet.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, we were just keeping it at the end of the hallway, just, right in the little, right at the end of the hallway. And every night when we went to bed, she'd run down the hallway and bark at it and then run back. And it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
Kevin's mom, I got for Christmas last year. It was one of the last things she got me. It was like a little oscillating floor cleaner.
Yeah.
We brought it home and we plugged it in, and it's just standing there. And every night when we go to dinner, she stares at it like, you better not make a move toward my mommy. She will protect me from that thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Broom and dustpan. You bust those out, you're going to hear about it.
You don't even have to bust them out. Let's be real. If you go into the laundry room
mm-hmm.
and they're standing in the corner, she will go over and bark at them like a crazy person. And they're not even being touched. But she's just letting them know.
And everything. She's just crazy about it.
I wish I knew what she was really thinking when she does all of that.
The grabbies. The grabbies are these, they're long arm things. You pull the little trigger and it grabs. Everybody's got at least one in their house to grab shit they can't reach. We've got 2 or 3 in the house. Dad likes to use them. And she goes crazy whenever they're out.
I would have to say they're probably her number 1 enemy.
Yeah.
Because Dad will, we'll have one just leaning up against the chair in the dining room. And she'll lay in here by herself, staring at it and growling. Because remember one time I was out here working or doing something, and I'm like, what is that?
You started recording her for a good 10 minutes.
Noise? And she was just laying on the floor, growling at the grabby that was not even being touched.
But she knew it was
if they're
there.
hanging somewhere and she sees it, she does that. She hates those things.
And then eventually I picked it up, and as soon as I touched it, it was...
Oh, then it's all...
Oh,
yeah, then it's like crazy pandemonium.
Yeah. Grandpa's canes, which she's gotten a little better about that, but for a while, anytime Dad had his cane out, or one of his canes out, she wasn't having it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the hampers, like we would have hampers, but she doesn't bark at all of them. And, at first we thought, well, maybe it's just the hampers with wheels. But no, Grandma's got a big hamper that she used to have that had a lot of wheels. And she was okay with that. It was just some hampers. She was like, nope.
We had a hamper that rolled, and she hated it. Barked at it. It didn't matter where it was. She was barking at it constantly. So Mom's got a hamper that rolls. She doesn't bother with that one. So we bought a new hamper, and it sits in our closet. But if the closet door is open, she'll run in the room and charge at the door and bark at it. She's gotten to where she barks at that hamper now too, even though it doesn't have wheels on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have wheels on it. There's not.
It's just the hamper, and I don't understand it. Like, she has a thing about socks and bras.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll have to go over those things. She will, if I just throw my clothes on the floor, which is, I'm not trying to hide anything here, folks. when I get undressed, everything just goes onto the floor in a pile. Because to get it in the hamper, I've got to open the closet, pull the stuff away from we've just got so much stuff that it's not easy. So it'll be on the floor. She will covet them. Like, she can't...
Especially your bras.
Oh, if I throw it on the bed, then she'll come up and she'll lay on the bed with it. Like, one day she jumped off the bed and she was rolling around, and when I looked at her, she actually had it on. It was hilarious.
Which is weird because she hates wearing any type of dog clothes.
But yeah, she hates hampers. Maybe because they hold all the clothes.
Maybe.
And she wants to play in the clothes.
She wants to play in the
clothes. She does like to...
Because if I just throw laundry on the bed, out of the dryer before I fold it, she dives into it.
Yeah, she loves to make a little nest out. I know a lot of dogs and cats like to do that.
Yeah, well. Let's see. 6, house guest. Anytime anybody comes to the house, they come in, and if it's huggers, then we got to hug. She hates that.
Immediately sit
But
down.
you got to sit down. You got to sit down, and she'll stop. And then she'll, check you out, and then after a while, she might like you.
And you stand up, and she'll bark at you again.
Yeah. The only one she consistently gets along with right away is Cindy.
She likes
Because Cindy gets down and on the floor with her.
She likes John Canny.
And John Canny, yeah.
She really likes him.
Yeah.
She doesn't give him any shit.
Yeah.
But they're
He's a chill dude, though.
Yeah, I mean, he gets, and Troy too, gets down on the floor and plays with her. I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who could hate Troy? Lizards.
Or John, for that matter.
Yeah.
Lizards.
There's every summer there's always a couple of lizards that hang out at the bottom. Like we have a deck, and at the bottom there's a stairway that leads to a little landing. And in the landing for the last, I don't know, like 5-6 years, there's always lizards in there.
Always little, whatever those things are called.
Yeah.
Newts, whatever.
She tries to get them.
And she's gotten them a couple times.
She's gotten them a couple times. She's took the tail off of one.
We call her the lizard assassin.
Yeah. She's, yeah.
she came in with the tail and threw it at me one time.
Yeah.
Oh, and that wasn't the only animal she came in. She caught a bunny rabbit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's
coming up.
Number 8 is the squirrels. Now, we
There's
have
punk-ass
squirrels.
squirrels.
We have squirrels in the neighborhood, and they're all assholes. Every one of the squirrels are assholes. The asshole squirrels eat all of the. We try to. Mom tries to buy bird feeders that are squirrel feeders. That's bullshit.
No, did you see the roof of the one is on the ground?
Yeah. They
took the whole roof off.
They find a way to destroy these things so they can get to the bird seed. So, and lately I've just been throwing bird seed directly on the ground for the muskogs.
The muscovies.
Yeah. But anyway, the squirrels. This one asshole squirrel goes to our fence. We have the back fence which the neighbors put up. This is 10-foot tall fence, and the squirrel will purposely go in front of the back door and wait at the fence line, and till you'll see it and want to go out. I open up the door, and it's one of the few times I know the squirrel's out there because she thunders out. She'll rush out like there's no tomorrow, and she starts chasing the squirrel. Now she can't obviously get to the squirrel. She's not going to jump up this 10-foot fence, but she chases it along the fence line, and the squirrel just knows to run a little bit and jumps in the tree and runs away. Just being an asshole. Haha, you can't get me.
Mm-hmm.
So, except this week, because of the snow on the ground, she'd run out, she'd start to chase it, and then she'd start running in the snow, and she's like, nope, I'm out. I'm not doing it. She doesn't like snow. So, there's that. So, asshole squirrels.
Yeah, and they taunt her.
And then rabbits. Now, there's rabbits in the neighborhood. They're not terribly big rabbits. A couple of them have got some good size, but most of them are smaller rabbits, very fast. And she chases them down hard. And a couple of times I thought she was going to get them. But for the most part, the rabbits just leave her. It's like watching the Flash run away from somebody. And they're gone. One time she ran out, and it looked like the rabbit was running towards her. And then it banked right, and then took off like it was like no tomorrow and was gone. I was like, oh my God. It was crazy. But then one day, I had the door open. We had this little netting on the back door, so I had the door open. And I was off work, but I was sitting in my chair. You were in the kitchen with your mom and a house guest here. And she comes trotting in. She's got something in her mouth, and I'm looking. I'm like, holy shit. Oh my God. And I'm trying to get my chair down so I can get up and get it. And she trots past me. She's like, I got something for mommy. So, go ahead.
She did. She came right to me and dropped it right at my feet. And I didn't know what it was at first.
Yeah. All I heard was, ah! And then I heard my mother-in-law, ah! Then my wife again, ah! We're going back and forth screaming.
She had dropped a little dead baby bunny right at my feet. I'm sure she caught it and thought she was playing and shaking her head and killed it. But then that's when she went from lizard assassin to bunny assassin. But yeah, she was very proud of it and did not understand why we were all reacting the way we were.
Yeah, she's like, I
just brought that to you. You're so rude.
So I had to grab a bunch of paper towels to pick it up. And then, I should have, been cool about it and did the whole burial thing. But no, I just threw it in the trash. It was Thursday, so they were gone anyway.
She definitely has a specific enemy list. And it's just so funny to watch her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I didn't mention it here, but the dogs next door.
Oh.
The Chief Cooper and what's the other dog's name? I can't think of it.
Why can't I think of this other dog's name all of a sudden?
Oh,
Layla?
Layla. Layla is a boxer mix, and Chief Cooper is a lab and some other mix. But they're both pretty chill dogs, but she barks at them. She just wants to fight.
I don't think she wants to fight. She wants to talk, and that's how she talks. Remember the time the boxer from across the street got in the house, ran up the steps in the garage and came in until he did not know what to think? Like, there was that whole moment of, like, you could almost read the WTF above her head. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. She doesn't really like other dogs very much.
No.
Because they give us too much attention, and she can't have that.
Yeah, she's a jealous little bitch.
She is what I call my little feisty badass.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say I like the feisty.
Yeah.
Everybody says, well, this is what you get. You know what? She's feisty, and she's funny, and she's smart, and she's perfect.
She is perfect.
And she's spoiled rotten, and I don't care. I don't care. She makes me happy.
I can't even explain how much I love the dog. She is
She's almost like, there's times when you're almost having a full conversation with her.
Yeah.
She'll lean back and she'll just be like, last night she just laid in my lap and she put her head back and she was just looking at me. And I was like, it's the sweetest thing that she's just like this, oh, there's my mommy. And you can see whatever is being released in her brain, melatonin, serotonin, dopamine, whatever it is running.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally could hold and cuddle and squeeze and love on this dog all day long.
And honestly, if we hadn't had her during the trials and tribulations of your dad's illness,
I know
it would never have worked out.
We rescued her, and I've heard this a million times, but it's so true. She really rescued us. She really brought a light back that only a dog, I believe, can. And we've never had cats, mainly because of allergies. I don't have anything against cats. But my brother is highly allergic to cats, so we've never had cats. But the dogs just bring a light. And everyone seeks the dog out when they get home. Everyone wants to give her a hug and a kiss. Everyone wants to talk to her and play with her all the time. And so she's just spoiled rotten. And she was curled up in her little nest in Kevin's chair today, and I was just scruffing her head and telling her I'd see her later. And sometimes I just sing to her, and she just looks at me like, oh, you're singing to me. I make up little songs about her. It's like a little human. It's like having a little human.
Yeah.
And I know people are probably like, these two are straight crazy. But I don't care.
Yeah. Fuck you if you think we're crazy.
She's awesome, and that's what I'm going to say.
That's right.
All right, so we're at 45 minutes, dear.
Ooh, Jesus.
And we still have part 2.
So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with...
I don't know. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
We'll see you in a few.
All right, we'll be back. And we're back. And this time we're actually recording.
We just recorded a whole segment of Shit You Should Know, and we weren't recording.
And it was horrible because it was deeply impressive stuff that we were doing.
I will let you know, Kevin beat me 6-5 in the Shit You Should Know, and he had some very impressive answers. He knew some shit. I'm just going to say that. Sorry, world, you missed out. It's the lost episode forever and ever. Never to be recovered again. We did not realize we weren't recording until we wrapped it up, and Kevin said, bye, everybody. And we looked at the counter, and it was still at 0.
And we're like, son of a bitch.
And I'm like, oh my God.
And it was epic Shit You Should Know.
It was epic. You guys missed it.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we're going to try to recreate the magic.
Yeah. Well, no, we got new cards. We did grab
get
two
new
new
cards.
cards.
It did cross my mind to re-record using the same 8 questions we asked each other and to just show how smart we are. But
no,
I got 5 out of 8. Kevin got 6 out of 8. I mean, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
Better than half.
Better than half.
All right, you ready for your first real
Let's do it.
question? It's 1 minute and 15 seconds in. Here
There
we
we
go. In what Japanese city was a nuclear power plant damaged due to an earthquake off the coast of Japan in March 2011 and subsequent tsunami?
I'm going to mispronounce it, but Fukushima?
Fukushima.
Yeah.
God damn it, you're smart.
Yeah. Well, that's always the thing that they use. This is why nuclear power is a bad idea, but that's still...
I thought that was Chernobyl.
No, Chernobyl was Russia back in the 80s.
I know.
But there was a tsunami, and then they still didn't have a meltdown, and there was still no... the radiation leak that they had was no more than the radiation that's already out in the ocean.
This wasn't the tsunami that hit Thailand and killed all those people, was it? Okay.
No, this was a couple years after that.
All right.
It was horrible. The footage from it was horrible. But let's see here and there. You're 100% going to get this first one. Whose two best friends are Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger?
Harry Potter.
Do I have to look? Yes, that's of course Harry Potter.
We're tied.
Shit, you should know. Come on. Come on.
Who was Kurt Cobain married to when he died?
Oh, Courtney Love.
Courtney Love. Very good, babe. All right, that's a good musical one you knew, just like the other one that...
It's not all old school country music. I do know some shit now.
I know.
One of the questions
It was
before,
Dire Straits in the last one.
Yeah, was talking about who was the what band did Mark Knopfler lead, and it was like Dire Straits, and I knew not only did he have the best guitar lick from Money for Nothing, but when Weird Al asked to use the song for Beverly Hillbillies, he said, "Yeah, you can use the song, but you got to let me play the guitar for the track." And there you go.
Yeah, and I get spared my dumbass answer.
All right. What type of race in swimming combines 4 different swimming styles?
Freestyle.
Medley swimming.
Fudge!
Yeah,
I answered too fast.
Freestyle, wasn't it?
All right, smarty pants. Who is Mark David Chapman?
The guy that killed Imagine the Beatles. He killed not Ringo, not George Harrison, not
Not
Paul McCartney.
It was the other
Why
one.
I cannot I'm drawing a blank on his name. Holy
right.
cow.
I'm not going to give you the point until you remember his name, even if it comes to you toward
Oh my
the end
God.
of the recording.
Jesus Christ.
Because the fact that you don't know his name, you could name,
I know.
You could name Mark Kohlberg or whatever that
Mark
other guy's
Knopfler.
name.
Jesus
Knopfler.
Christ. I'm picturing his face and everything. His son's Julian. He was married to Yoko Ono.
Mm-hmm. Boy, you're
Oh my
knocking
God.
him dead here, babe.
Oh. John Lennon.
There you go.
John Paul, George, and Ringo. And I was like, I had to do it that way.
Jesus. You worked hard.
Don't judge me.
You worked hard for that one.
Don't judge me, people. That's the one I'm going to fucking comment on.
Okay, listen. Don't feel bad because I wouldn't have known that answer.
Really?
Really, I'm seriously. I would not have had a clue
Chapman? Yeah.
who he was.
Oh my God.
I don't know anything, people. I know how to teach kids how to read.
All right, Mount Everest is the highest Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. What is the second highest?
Mount McKinley?
Nope.
Mount Rogers?
K2.
Kilimanjaro?
K2. Whoop.
K2. I didn't see anything.
Okay.
I've never heard K2 before.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. Not long after that comes K9.
I'm really wishing we hadn't lost that first episode. What is the pink panther that Inspector Clouseau searches for in the film of the same name?
Yeah, it's a diamond.
All right. Smart ass. It's 4-1, by the way.
Yeah. What does FAQ stand for?
Frequently asked question.
There you go.
Now it's 4-2. I've gotten 2 out of, 4 questions right? I'm at 50%. You're at 100%. Together we make 75%. Ready?
Yep.
What do you drink if you drink Evian?
Wine?
Mineral water.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Really, you should have known that.
All right. Here's one for the tech guys out there.
Oh, God, I'm going to get this one wrong.
Adobe Acrobat Reader is most frequently used to read computer files ending in what extension?
PDF.
There you go.
Woo!
There you go.
All right.
Don't. Push
I've
yourself
recently
down.
learned how to make things into PDF files.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Who is Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr., better known
Muhammad
as?
Ali.
Very good.
Yeah.
That one I might have known.
Yeah. I mean, that whole bit they did in Coming to America at the barbershop where they talk about Cassius Clay versus Muhammad Ali is hilarious. Good shit. What is the name of the political party led by Nelson Mandela from 1991 to 1999? I would not know
Are
this.
you kidding me?
Yeah, this is shit.
You're
I
hitting
have
me
no
with a
idea.
Nelson Mandela political
This is
question?
the card. This is the card we drew.
I know apartheid. Is that close enough?
No, apartheid was the
Let's see. I don't know.
It's the African National Congress, the ANC. I wouldn't have got that either. Sorry.
Calling bullshit on this whole episode. Ready?
Yep.
What is it called in bowling when all the pins are knocked down during the second attempt?
Spare.
Very good. God damn it.
Yeah.
I have no way to win.
What is Costa Nostra's another name for?
Can I see it?
Mm-hmm.
Cosa Nostra. Grandmother.
The Mafia.
The family.
I would have not known
I was
that.
so close. I picked something in a family.
Yeah. So, just, you picked the godmother and not the godfather, which is
I
fun.
said grandmother, but close enough.
Grandmother, yeah.
What is the last name of the brothers Liam and Noel in the band Oasis?
I got nothing.
Gallagher.
Yeah, I would never have in a million years.
All
got
right.
that. You say Gallagher to me, I'm thinking you're smashing a watermelon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And what does the Latin word rex mean?
King.
Yeah, you got it.
I took 2 years of Latin in high school.
Yeah,
I did.
I didn't.
Plus, I knew that a religious meaning behind that one too.
So Tyrannosaurus rex is the king. Makes sense.
It's a king tyrant,
Oh, wow, shit.
right?
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus. Yeah.
I mean, come on. All right, so I did a poor showing on that one. I got 50%, 4 out of 8. Kevin got 6 out of 8. I don't know, what is that? I don't know the percentage of
I
that.
don't know either. It's good. It's enough to win.
It's enough to win. It is enough to win. And this one you get to keep at 10, almost 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You get to rightfully keep this win.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to go missing forever, and I'm going to come back and smash you. That's just never going to happen on these questions.
You know, if our cards had flipped, I never would have been able to answer the Mandela thing. I never would have gotten the
I didn't answer
the Latin thing.
Well, that's
you
true.
know.
But I couldn't answer them either, so.
And I almost forgot freaking John Lennon's name.
Good God.
I know people are probably screaming. We might have lost Aunt Pat.
He even knew his son's name and his wife's name and
well,
everyone
I mean,
else.
Hey Jude was all about Julian. So.
All right, folks. So this is going to be a shorter episode this week, but it's Thursday night. You'll be hearing this on Saturday, most likely. And I'm tired.
Yeah, and I got stuff to do. So.
Yeah. So we're hoping for some more snowfall.
Yeah.
Please.
Stay safe.
Whoever needs to hear it up there. Another Monday off. Not off. I mean, the kids are working, and I have to be available to help them. So
blah blah blah.
And I'll be doing grades because grades are due on Tuesday, and I haven't even started yet. So there will be
Your
that.
kid sucks. Your kid sucks.
No,
Your kid's
that's
all right.
not true. So anyway.
Yeah.
This is all we got for you people. Right now, it's like getting blood from a stone.
Yeah. It's been a week.
All I can do is hope that the volume on this one is better than last week.
Yeah. Well, we got the echo turned all the way down, so it should sound better. So.
I don't know if that was what was wrong with last week's volume.
Yeah.
But let's just hope this one's better.
Yeah, we're still learning, folks. But as always, like, comment, share. Let us know what you think. Let us know about your dog. Tell us about your pup. You know, and the pups or your cats if you got them, and if you got something else, if you got snakes, then keep that shit to yourself.
Or just listen and live your life.
Yeah. Enjoy the show while you can.
Either way.
Yeah. But seriously, listen, like, comment, share. Listen on Spotify, so potentially could get sponsorship and Cash App $K-Rose VA.
Venmo at Kelly-Rose15.
Yeah.
No, kidding.
Yeah.
We're kidding.
Yeah. No, we're not kidding. All right. Bye, everybody.